Alex Pereira has proven that he is not just a temporary phenomenon, but a fighter who continues to evolve and mature with every bout. And for those of us who underestimated him, this serves as a reminder to stay humble when analyzing a sport as unpredictable as MMA. This fight ended in shocking fashion. Ankalaev was completely helpless after absorbing a brutal calf kick from Pereira in the first round. In their first encounter, similar kicks from Pereira had little effect, but this time was different. The very first cleanly landed kick instantly damaged Ankalaev. He grimaced in pain, switched to an orthodox stance, and was driven back against the cage. Alex Pereira looked far more aggressive than ever before. He pressured Ankalaev with body jabs and 1-2s to lower his guard, then followed up with a right hand to the head. That was the beginning of the end. The right hand rocked Ankalaev, and moments later, Herb Dean stepped in to stop the fight. Although some fans argued that the stoppage was premature, Pereira's victory remained nothing short of spectacular. The arena erupted with cheers. It was one of those incredible moments in UFC history, a rematch that ended with a completely reversed outcome. Personally, I'm not sure we'll see a trilogy, but one thing is clear. Alex Pereira came into this fight with a much stronger sense of purpose. He pressed forward from the opening bell, attacked relentlessly, and fought with intensity and conviction. His calf kicks became the decisive weapon that dictated the outcome. This was arguably one of Pereira's best performances ever. Compared to his wins over Israel Adesanya or Jerry Prochaska, this victory over Magomedov Ankalaev felt the sweetest, calculated, controlled, and efficient. He ended the fight with dominance and precision. It also showed that at 38 years old, Alex Pereira remains at the peak of his powers. He just dismantled one of the most technical and dangerous light heavyweights in the world. From the opening seconds, Pereira came out aggressively, immediately forcing Ankalaev back against the cage. From that moment, it was clear Pereira arrived with a different mindset and energy than before. Whereas in his previous fight, he looked sluggish and hesitant. This time, he was explosive and confident, a man on a mission. Ankalaev seemed unprepared for the early onslaught. He tried to keep distance with front kicks, but Pereira closed the gap and unleashed heavy combinations. Within just 20 seconds, a vicious 1-2 from Pereira landed flush, dropping Ankalaev to the canvas. Without hesitation, Pereira followed up with a relentless barrage of punches and elbows from top position until the referee stepped in. A definitive victory for Alex Pereira, a first-round knockout. It was one of the most dominant displays of his career. But now, the big question remains. What's next for Alex Pereira? Will he grant Ankalaev another rematch, move up to heavyweight, or even consider retirement after such a spectacular win? Because the fight ended so quickly, the audience didn't get to see much from either man technically. Pereira didn't need to make the adjustments many expected him to make. Before the fight, most analysts believed Ankalaev had the edge in tactics and strategy, predicting Pereira would struggle to deal with the Dagestani's composure and discipline. But the result proved otherwise. Pereira's right hand was the great equalizer. The key to his victory was his immediate aggression. He pressed Ankalaev from the very first second, giving him no time to settle or breathe. Ankalaev looked more shocked than outmatched. He simply wasn't ready to trade blows with someone as powerful as Pereira. That's what allowed Pereira to close the show so quickly. With this victory, Alex Pereira once again affirmed himself as the best light heavyweight in the world. Yet, his next career move remains a major question mark. A few options are on the table. 1. A trilogy with Ankalaev. Because the rematch ended so fast, the UFC might give Ankalaev another chance to prove himself. 2. A move up to heavyweight to challenge Tom Aspinall, the interim heavyweight champion. After Aspinall faces Cyril Gane, he may not have a clear next challenger. And that's where Alex Pereira could step in to create a massive cross-division super fight, chasing his third world title. From a business perspective, this makes perfect sense for the UFC. Pereira is a huge draw with incredible star power. A bout with Aspinall can generate far more attention and revenue than a rematch with Ankalaev. That's why many believe Pereira will move up rather than revisit an old rivalry. If not, another potential, though less compelling matchup could be against Carlos Ulberg. However, Ulberg hasn't scored any major victories aside from defeating a declining Dominic Reyes, so that fight would lack appeal. Meanwhile, Jiri Prochazka, who fought on the same card against Khalil Rountree, earned a third-round KO after a tough start. But a third trilogy with Pereira is unlikely, given Pereira has already beaten him twice, both by stoppage. As long as Pereira holds the belt, that fight probably won't happen. Thus, the most likely next step is a super fight between Alex Pereira and Tom Aspinall. If that becomes reality and Pereira wins, he would become a 3-division champion, an unprecedented achievement that would cement his place in the GOAT conversation. This win over Ankalaev also restored Pereira's reputation. After his previous loss, many questioned whether at 38 he could still compete with the new generation of light heavyweights. But UFC 310 silenced all doubt. Pereira proved that experience, power, and championship mentality can still conquer anyone in the division. Most fans were thrilled with the result. Although many analysts picked Ankalaev to win, the majority of spectators were rooting for Pereira, and he delivered spectacularly. A first-round KO was the perfect outcome, both for fans and for the UFC. After the fight, Pereira shared a thoughtful message. Revenge is never a good thing. It's like a poison sometimes. I told everyone I wasn't healthy last time, but no one believed me. You saw it for yourself tonight. This doesn't surprise me. I saw this coming since the first fight. I don't like making excuses, but I wasn't well that night. Tonight I was great. I had my speech ready for this moment. I spoke with my team about this, but we just got some news. Something's happened, so I want to pay respect to John Jones and his family and ask everyone here and watching at home for a moment of silence for his brother. All in all, UFC 310 will go down as one of the best cards of the year. 4 out of the 5 main fights ended in finishes, and none disappointed. If you predicted Alex Pereira victory, you were among the very few who got it right. One thing is certain, Alex Pereira is far from done. He's still the champion, still the fan magnet, and still one of the most dangerous men to ever step inside the octagon.